Thank you, Debbie. I never appreciated the value that mentors can bring into our lives until I joined Toastmasters. Like everybody, I had people in my life that helped me from time to time, whether it's a grandfather that was an equestrian coach, or my 4-H leader, or certainly school teachers, and sometimes the farm ladies in the community. But it was when I joined Toastmasters that I realized that having structured mentors in our life really makes a difference. Fellow Toastmasters and my amazing dynamic guests, thank you for coming here today. The picture you're looking at is 2005. Yes, I know I've changed just a little bit. And here I am in Red Deer, Alberta. I have just won District 42 Table Topics contest, and the 2003 World Champion of Public Speaking, Jim Key, was there. And it was so exciting. Little did I know that fateful meeting was going to have big impact for me down the road, because I was able to tap into Jim Key as one of my mentors when I was preparing for a big event. In Toastmasters, we have a program for professional speakers. It's called the Accredited Speaker Program. Well, I joined Toastmasters as a paid professional speaker, and I joined Toastmasters because I liked what they had. I liked the program. I wanted to have some more tools in my toolbox. And so I said, what's a really great communication and leadership organization? Toastmasters. And so that's why I joined. And as soon as I became a member of a club, I had access to amazing people. I had access to the founder of our club, Ken Levers, who was a table topics genius. In fact, I joined Toastmasters when I went to a demonstration meeting and I heard Ken give a response in table topics. The question was, in October, we have Oktoberfest and people wear funny hats with little green feathers. Why did they do that? Well, Ken stood up and he was wearing a suit and he kind of adjusted his lapels and he goes, it all started with a sick chicken. I was hooked. And that sick chicken is what got me totally hooked on Toastmasters. In 2015, I stood in front of the Toastmaster world on the main stage in Caesar's Palace, Las Vegas. And I was giving my accredited speaker presentation. Wow. Now, I don't know if all of you have been on a huge stage. It's terrifying. It is absolutely frightening. It is huge. There are lights everywhere. There are stage hands running around, building your props and doing everything for you. You cannot see the audience. It's like Charlie Brown's Christmas concert. All you see is sort of some little black dots in the background. But the most disconcerting thing for a speaker is that you cannot hear the audience. You can't hear the giggles, the snickers, the gasps, because of all of the ambient noise of the monitors and the speakers and everything that's in front of you. So you are essentially blind and deaf when you are on a huge stage. That was a great experience. Well, I gave my presentation. 3 of us applied that year. And at the end of the presentation, the crowd went wild. Yay! And I felt like Celine Dion. They rushed up and they wanted their pictures with Maya Nookshuk and their pictures with me. And I thought, this is pretty doggone good. And the next day when they announced who had achieved this distinguished place in their Toastmaster life, they said there's been one person that won. One person that is qualified. And my wonderful friends from District 42, they're looking at me going like, oh yeah, Freddi, we know it's you. But it wasn't me. I had failed. Accredited speaker is pass or fail. You make it or you break it. You do it or you don't. This was such a good lesson for me because I failed in front of the world. Wow, that's big bananas. And after you do that, you think, do I do it again? And if I do I reach out for help? Well, I decided to do it again, and this time I reached out for help. I had some amazing people in my life. Jim Key was one of them. And I reached out to Jim and said, I need you to help me with the construct of my presentation. Absolutely, Freddi, no problem. So he and I had a mentor-mentee relationship for about 3 months. Then I reached out to some people in the accredited speaker world. Cheryl Rausch is an amazing accredited speaker, and she's always right there. And I reached out to some other accredited speakers. But the most important thing I did was I tapped into the talent in my home club. Because you see, they are the audience. And when you're presenting the accredited speaker presentation, it's not like the World Championship, which is a one and done. This has to be a prepared professional level presentation. And so I tapped into ordinary people that would be in my audience. And friends like Deanne Wurzba, she and I traveled to contests. It was always fun. John Hallett, some of you might remember John Hallett, Major John. He helped me. District 42, they let me practice my speech at the district conference. It was amazing, and I got some great feedback. So I was able to tap into the mentorship that is available right at our fingertips from club level, area, division, and district, and heck, the world. And it was delightful because in 2017 in Vancouver, Canada, once again, I'm standing on the stage, and it was big at the convention center, and there was about 2,500 of my closest Toastmaster friends in the audience. I gave my presentation, and yes, Margaret Page called my name. I had succeeded. I only succeeded because I had reached out for that help and had brought some mentors into my life. So what does this mean in the context that we want to talk about today is how marvelous are mentors? I'm going to be talking a little bit about mentorship in general. I'm going to be talking about some of the high points, some of the low points. I'm going to be making some suggestions, but I just want you to know that these are just my thoughts, ideas, and experiences. Your thoughts might be different. Your experiences might be different. And you might say, that won't work for me. Perfect. Because I would rather you be an exceptional you than a poor imitation of me. So where does this notion of mentorship come from? As you can see on the screen, it came from Homer's epic tale, The Odyssey, and mentor was a friend. And a mentor today is still that friend, that trusted advisor, that person that has your best interest in mind. If we take a look at a model, and I know some people like models and diagrams, just like some people like numbers and some people like stories. But if we look at a model, a mentor is there to listen. And so one of the skills that we develop as a mentor is that ability to listen openly and critically and be able to take what we hear and use it to encourage the person with whom we are working. You see, by listening clearly and openly and having what we call unconditional positive regard, and encouraging the individual, we can build trust. And through that trust comes our dependability and our reliability. When we put all of this together, it is rather fun. Now, what about being asked to mentor by someone who has a different philosophy on life issues than you do? Let's say, for example, that you are politically on the right and somebody politically on the left wants you to mentor them. Can you do it? Of course you can. Because you see, we're not there to change their mind. We are there to listen and encourage, build their trust, and be a reliable support so that they can achieve their best. And by achieving that, we are also going to be having a lot of fun. So is everybody cut out to be a mentor? I don't think so. Because quite honestly, if you don't want to be a mentor, don't be a mentor. Don't let anybody push you into it. Now, in fairness, I believe that folks can be encouraged. They can learn the skills. But if this is something that's absolutely not in your wheelhouse, do the world a favor and say no. No is a good thing to say. So how can we see whether or not we want to be a mentor? You see, if we are going to be a mentor, I believe that we need to appreciate the fact that a mentor is there to help a person learn, know, and grow in the way that that person should go. Mentoring isn't about turning somebody into a carbon copy of yourself, changing their ideas, changing their politics or whatever. I think that we need to check our heart. We have to have a genuine desire to be of help and assistance to the individual in whatever way that they need the support. Do they need it in crafting? Do they need the support in putting a structure together? Do they need the support in what we call choreography? How to use the stage, how to use their hands, how to use their body? To be a mentor, we need to believe in that person's potential. I happen to believe that everyone has great potential. One of the projects that I work on is I work with a group of young adults that I fondly say have not yet achieved success in life. Now, they might have been sent to this program by their parole officer or their social worker or their aunt or a school teacher or whatever. These people are some of my favorite people on the planet because I see their potential. And I treat them as if they have all of this potential because I believe they do. And you know, at the end of 10 weeks, they're actually starting to believe that they've got potential as well. So to be a mentor, one of the things we need to do is what I call a skill self-analysis. What do you have to offer? What are you good at? When I became the District 42 Table Topics champion, it was probably as much a surprise to me as it was to some of my mentors. But what I had done is I'd practiced. And my friend Ken Levers, the guy with the sick chicken, he had worked with me and coached me and showed me how to structure answers and how to always have a response on the tip of my tongue. And we would practice all the time. He was committed to my success. He was a wonderful, wonderful mentor. And so when I am looking at mentoring people, sometimes I say no, because I know what my skills are and I know what my skills aren't. And I encourage you to do the same. What is it that you're really good at? If you want me to mentor you on how to use technology, I'm going to say, gee, thank you, but I know you can find a better mentor. If you want a mentor about structure and how to easily and readily put a speech together, I'm your gal for that. So do a skill self-analysis so that you know what it is that you have to offer, because we can't be all things to all people. When to say no? Don't let anybody force you, coerce you, threaten you, manipulate you, or in any other negative way put you in a mentoring role. That's just wrong, because your heart is not going to be in the right place. It is okay to say no. We have busy lives. Sometimes we just do not have the time, because to commit to another person's growth and development, it is going to take time. And now in our Zoom world, it's wonderful because we can meet in the Zoom world, and we can pop on for a quick 20-minute coaching chat or not. And so we can find time, but if you genuinely do not have the time, please do not engage in a mentoring relationship, because it won't be fair to you. And it certainly will not be fair to the individual. What if there is a disconnect between you and this individual, and you are not able to offer unconditional positive regard? Sometimes this takes a little navel gazing on our part. There was an individual that I was asked to coach who had radically different ideas about life than I did. And when I was asked to be a mentor for this individual, I did that searching and I did the navel gazing, and I came up and I said, no, I'm sorry, I'm not able to form a mentor-mentee relationship with you. However, here's 2 or 3 other people that perhaps you could approach. It was the kindest thing I could do for them and for myself, because I could not honestly offer that unconditional positive regard. And what if it's not a great skill fit? As I said in the previous example, if you come to me for technology, it'll really suck to be you, because there's going to be other people that are much better at technology. So it is okay to say no. You see, with mentorship, what we're doing is that we are taking that wonderful, beautiful raw material, that core of skill that the other person has, and through encouragement, through support, through some judicious thoughts and inputs, we are taking and supporting them in developing their talent. You see, the seed is already there. The seed of greatness is already there in that individual, and all we're doing is that we are just like the master gardener, and we're causing that person to flourish and to bloom and to grow. That's what mentoring is. It's got nothing to do with us. It's all about them. There's some things that a mentor is not. For example, a mentor is not a problem solver unless it's a technical problem. So I can solve a problem if you don't know how to structure a speech. If you don't know about the opening, the body, the conclusion, putting your points together, forming an outline, and using easy models. I can solve those problems. But as a mentor, I'm not your therapist. I'm not here to intervene if you're having problems with your spouse or partner or children. I am not there to help you with your work or life problems. You see, a mentoring relationship is specific. It has parameters. So if we are going to be working on speeches, that's the parameters of our mentoring relationship. If we're going to be working on impromptu speaking, that is what we are going to be working on. Now, that being said, a lot of times a mentorship relationship does flow out into other life pieces, but that's not where the mentorship starts. And also, a mentor cannot demand change. A mentor cannot demand that an individual do this, that, or the other thing. A mentor is not a control freak. You see, it's that relationship of support, unconditional positive regard, and from the heart, you truly believe that the best is yet to come for the individual. You know, the whole notion of mentoring has really changed a lot in our Toastmaster world, and I think it's great. I mean, the traditional mentoring is one-on-one, right? You might get together at a Tim Hortons, or you might get together after an in-person meeting, or nowadays what we do is we get together on Zoom, one-on-one. Amazing. We work on projects, we do homework, we come back, and we see the process improvement. A lot of times we will see this with speech contestants, that they're wanting to work on their speech. So a good one-on-one approach is excellent. Distance mentoring. heavens, that's what we do now, right? You pop on the club website and you have a distance relationship. I get to mentor people all around the world, and it's kind of fun. I like having this technical ability, not that I have the ability, but the Zoom does. And if I'm needing support in something, I can reach out to the world. I can reach out to the district. I can reach out to the region. There's always somebody there. You know, one of the best things about Toastmasters, and there's many best things, but one of the best things is the fact that we've got the world at our fingertips. We had a member come into our club, and they had just bought an HVAC company, furnaces and air conditioners, that sort of thing. And we were just talking one day. He goes, yeah, he says, you know, Southern Alberta gets really, really hot, but I wonder what they do with air conditioning in really hot parts of the world. I says, well, let's find out. He goes, what do you mean? So I went on Toastmasters website, find a club, and we looked in Bahrain and we looked in Saudi Arabia. And so we found a couple of clubs, and we did that club contact thing saying, hey, we're looking for somebody that knows something about air conditioning in really hot climates. One of our members is wanting to reach out and connect. In 2 days, we had 4 responses, and we're able to connect with the individual. Is that about Toastmasters? No, but that's one of the benefits that we can get. One of the things that our club does very successfully is we have what we call group mentoring, or pods. When a new person comes into our club, before they've even signed on the line and paid their dues, we have members meet with this individual to find out what are their goals. Because we all come to Toastmasters with different goals in mind. What is it that you want? Are you wanting to learn impromptu speaking? Are you wanting to learn how to present speeches? Are you wanting to network and build your business? Are you wanting to be able to put together a pitch for your new business? What is it that your goal is? And from that, we assign or ask people if they would like to mentor the individual. And what we've been doing is having group mentoring, and it works really, really well. It could be 3 mentors in one individual or 2 mentors in one individual, but what it does is it allows flexibility, and it also is building that relationship cohort within our club and within Toastmasters. So that has been working particularly well. But situational mentoring is something that's really critical as well. So you enter a speech contest. Oh my gosh, now you need some mentoring because you just won at the club level. You just won at the area level. Now you need some more mentoring. So that's very situational. Maybe you're aiming for the world champion of public speaking. Get some mentoring. Maybe you want to be an accredited speaker. You definitely need mentoring for that. So there's different kinds of mentoring, and it's up to us to determine what is going to work for us. 2005 really was a good year for me, because not only was I the District 42 Table Topics champion, I was also the evaluation champion. It was a good year, and I have to give credit to my mentors. And one of the mentors that I reached out to back in those days was Christina Cruz. Some of you might remember her as our district director. Christina was great, helping me develop my evaluation skills. And so how do you pick that mentor? They have to have the right talent. They have to have the right talent. So if you're looking for somebody that can help you with a specific thing, take a look around your club or around your network of Toastmaster friends and find out who has the right talent, who has the knowledge, and who is respected for having that knowledge. Do they have time to meet with you? You know, and that gets back to that whole time. The right time is important. Do they have time to meet? Do they have time to support you right before the event? One of the frustrations that I had when I was making my failed attempt at accredited speaker is the day before my presentation, I reached out to some wonderful, knowledgeable people that genuinely wanted me to succeed. They didn't know my speech. They didn't know my topic. They didn't know my background. They didn't know anything about me. And bless their hearts, they tried their very best to help me. And they helped me change the first 10 minutes of my speech. I had it nailed. I had it locked down. They changed the first 10 minutes of my speech. And you know what? I spent the entire night pacing my hotel room trying to get that new 10 minutes ingrained. And when you watch the video of my 2015 presentation, that first 10 minutes, it's lumpy, it's bumpy, it's grumpy. You can tell that it was not as polished as the rest of the presentation. So sometimes the timing is just a little off. I should have worked with them probably about 4 months before. And the topic, you know, do you need technique? Do you need help with content? Those are two different things. You know, in Toastmasters, there's 5 specific speaking skills that we learn. And now in our new Zoom environment, we've also got virtual speaking skills that we're learning as well. So what is it? What is the topic that you want support with your mentoring in? Is it technique? Is it content? Is it something else? So be judicious in selecting your mentor. Yeah. You know, this is my wonderful friend, the guy with the sick chicken. This is Ken Levers, a lovely man, the founder of our club, which is now 25 years old. And the beautiful thing about Ken when he's mentoring is that, number one, you know that he is interested in you. He's interested in your success. He is interested in working with you to be your very best. His intent is from the heart. He wants to be that encourager that helps you to success. And he's brilliant at sharing his insights. So let's just unpack this a little bit. Regarding the interest, do you have the time? Yep. Are you interested in this person? Well, sometimes you don't know, because if it's a new member, how do you know if you're interested in this person? But think about it, you know, have a meeting. It's okay to have a 45-minute or 30-minute discussion with the individual just to see if you click. If you don't click, reach out to somebody else to support them. Ask yourself, why me? Why now? See, as professional speakers, when we are looking at professional engagements, that's one of the things we ask ourselves. Why me? Why now? Why this topic? Why this organization? And that gives us the permission to say no or turn things down, just like it does with mentorship. You know, always lead with your heart. Always lead with your heart and genuinely believe in the capabilities of the person. If you can't do it, you're not the right match. And that unconditional positive regard, like them no matter what. Sometimes being mentored is really frustrating, and sometimes learning is hard. And so people might get grumpy, and sometimes it's just convenient to lash back at your mentor. You know what? Just kill them with kindness. Like them no matter what. When you're looking at yourself for your insights, first of all, as I mentioned before, do you have the skills to help this individual? Do you have something extra? Many of us do. Many of us have that little technique or that little hidden nugget that we picked up somewhere that we can bring into our mentoring relationship to really help that individual flourish. And you see, it's through our unconditional positive regard and through our dependability and through our encouragement that they can learn to trust us. And when that trust is earned, then your mentoring and relationship is really going to flourish. And for myself, I believe that one of the most important things is to be enthusiastic, because people, this is fun. This is great. It's exciting to see other people grow and develop and find their voice. Isn't that what Toastmasters is all about? I happen to think that that's what Toastmasters is all about. So I've shared with you some thoughts and some ideas about what mentoring is. I challenge you, whether you're in an advanced club, whether you're in a specialty club, whether you're in just a regular garden variety club, to really look at and work on your mentorship program. In our club, 100% of our members have access to at least one mentor. Even me, distinguished Toastmaster, accredited speaker, I've still got so much to learn. And I can reach out and tap into the mentorship program in our club. So if your club or area or region, Catherine, if mentorship isn't something that is strong, this is an area that I would encourage you to really develop and to think about, what is it that I have to offer? What is it that I have to gain by tapping into that wonderful world of mentorship that is so available in our clubs? It is through mentorship and through building our members, and that's our focus, that our club has been around for 25 years. And out of that 25 years, 18 of the last 19 years, we have been President's Distinguished. And why is that? I believe it's because we've got a great mentorship program where we put our focus, our energy, and our intent into our members. The mentors are there, the mentees are there. And I just want you to think about the power of mentorship to help you get to whatever goals that you set for your life and incorporate that wonderful world of unconditional positive regard, because fellow Toastmasters, you're awesome and you are worth it. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Freddi, for that speech.